Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and those yet to decide. I'm Hopalong PR, and welcome to the show.
Dude, fuck that shit. There are people outside in the world.
Okay, so going out into the real world obviously is not an option for me. So I wonder if there's a game out there that can, how I say, illustrate how fucked up the world is and how businesses screw everybody over. That's right, today we're talking about Suits. The lesson to be learned here, boys and girls, is that money can and will fuck everything up. Suits, a business RPG, is made by the devilishly handsome team known as Technomancy Studios. It's an indie RPG that deals with a world taken over by corrupt corporations where they control everything and the world lives in these cycle of events. You start off in a room where you're just made, and as soon as you step outside, that's when the amazing satire starts. Now, the primary colors of this game are black and white with shades of gray, but goddamn if it doesn't suit the game's satire perfectly. You see what I did there? I made a pun. I said the word fuck it. Back to the review. The game shows this dystopian society broken into 5 districts that control the world. The headquarters, legal, financial, food, and media districts are all the places that you'll be going in this game. They represent the control that the corporations have over citizens. You hear about the shareholders occasionally who seem to be actually in charge of the corporations, but nothing too substantial is ever found out about them. But the big boss in the game is a guy simply known as a CEO, who is somehow connected to you. You're both clones. You're both clones of the same person. What? You didn't want spoilers? This is a review of a game. If you don't want spoilers, you shouldn't be watching. Alright, so let's talk about the actual plot of the game. You are a businessman who got mixed up in some shady business due to being caught with illegal goods, i.e. your huge package, and you're being hunted down by the corporations. You meet and join with the rebels leader who want to take over the corporations and free the world. Their plan is to have you show the CEO your big package and take him out. So if you're able to detect the tone of a person's voice, you're going to see why I framed the plot the way I did, and that's where the beauty of Suits comes in. The entire game is satire on how the world currently works and how it's run, i.e. money talks and bullshit walks. You see in the game of cases where money overthrows the normal flow of the world and the hellish landscape is the result. This is why the rebels want to take over so they can change it. However, when you beat the final boss, the rebel leader comes in and tells you his plans are pretty much to set up the same system that you just took over. Oddly enough, the CEO during the boss fight pretty much told you that this was going to happen. You see people, I'm smart. I have a piece of paper telling me so. And I get what this game is saying. It's about how you're willing to corrupt yourself just to climb the corporate ladder. Now, the satire of this game is apparent, and I could just spend all day gushing over it. But the geniuses at Technomancy are masters of mixing humor styles. The game is satire mixed with stupid and easy humor, and I love it. It can go from showing the corrupt world of the legal system in one moment, and the next, you're on a drug trip doing God knows only what. It mixes the humor so well, so much can be enjoyed by anyone of any intelligence level. Hell, I'll admit to even stopping a few times because I was laughing at some weird, immature pop culture joke. This is the only game that I know of that you can have a Frankenstein monster in your party, break into a bank, go on a drug trip, and shit on a dinosaur's floor. I'm not joking. I'm not joking at all. I am not creative enough to make this shit up. Alright, as much as I love this game, it's not the first of its kind, and they even lightly acknowledge that. The game Off is one such game, and even features a battle between you and the protagonist of that game called The Batter. I'll admit, this game won me over very quickly, for many reasons. But one of my favorite parts was you had to break into the internet's headquarters and go in and kill the goob tubers. Now, I might have teared up when I had to kill Markiplier and Jontron, or as they called them, Marky Moo and Birdman. Okay, I don't know if the geniuses at Technomancy Studios are actually going to make a Suits 2 game, but I want to take a brief little moment to talk about a scene where it might lead people to think that they will, but I think it might be taken the wrong way.
Alright, so at the end of the game, there is some animation of the CEO falling onto a bed and the words "to be continued" appears. But I don't think that's talking about a sequel game. I think they're talking about the cycles of corruption. The warning of the previous CEO pretty much told you that he did the same thing, and that's just going to happen again and again. Then when the revolution leader shows up and practically structures things to start all over, it's an indication that nothing you did really mattered. That's what I think it means to when it says "to be continued."
Though if the geniuses at Technomancy did make a Suits 2, I would play it in a heartbeat, without a doubt. And I'd probably love it if they actually, made Suits 2 the way they wanted to. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's on Steam and it's pretty cheap. Warning, you should have a fucked up sense of humor if you play it. That's how you can really appreciate it like I did. And if you're interested, I have a full playthrough on my channel. I'll put a link somewhere below, and you can go watch that if you want. If not, thank you for listening to me shout my opinions and thought about this game. You're all beautiful, and I love you. On a funny note, I'm wearing shorts.